This is your ultimate stop for everything sports. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Should I say more? From the NFL, MLB, the NBA to MMA, it's all in here. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Listen now.
To the Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Pauline.
And I'm Anthony.
And I am very excited, hurt right now. I'm excited because it's March Madness. I'm hurt because my team is not in the tournament. And they just lost in the first round of the NIT. So my eater pride right now is it's hurt.
Right.
It's hurt really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I almost shed a tear. Last night, I think what the dagger was, so I went to the Big West tournament this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun. I was really excited. My team, UC Irvine Anteaters, were projected they were the regular season champions outright.
Right.
So they were, set to and predicted to win the Big West tourney and go dancing and all that. I was excited. I was hoping that they would win. We had Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year from first teamers, some second teamers. My squad was this squad to be.
Right.
They were those guys. And we fell to Davis.
And no.
By 3. So... And, I know a couple of the guys on UC Davis, so, good for them. Congratulations to UC Davis. We're here in Sacramento, so
I feel
that's
like you don't
basically...
mean that as much, though.
I don't mean it. I do mean it. But I don't...
No, it's fine. You're right the first time. I don't mean it. That's fine.
With a fully happy heart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean it like, cool, whatever. But...
Congratulations for you, also.
The dagger, I think what it is. Because, okay, they beat us.
Sure.
Okay. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
It happens to all of us.
Right.
But I think the true dagger was last night. My team played in the NIT.
Mm-hmm.
We lost.
Mm-hmm.
And Davis played North Carolina Central in kind of like a play-in round.
Right.
And they won.
They did.
And so now, that's what hurt the most is that they couldn't just lose.
I mean, to be fair, they're the 16th seed. They're going to play Kansas in the first round.
Right. And so I'm hoping Kansas don't let me down. Give them that work.
So here's the thing with me with this whole thing, right? So I graduated from Sac State.
Okay.
So also not a fan of Davis.
Right.
If they somehow beat Kansas, like if that for some reason happens, well, not only that, that's historic. That's the first time that's ever happened. And ESPN, Fox Sports 1, any basically network you can think of, will talk about that forever.
No, right. No. And I totally agree. And I was discussing this with my parents last night when we were eating dinner because I was like, okay, one, it's very exciting just for UC Davis because this is the first time they've been to the NCAA.
Right.
And I know how exciting that is because I believe it was 2 years ago. 2 or 3, whatever. A couple years ago, I believe it was 2 years ago. 2 seasons ago was when Irvine went for our very first time to the NCAA tournament. And I just remember as a senior how excited and like the college, the campus atmosphere, everyone was really excited. So definitely I can congratulate UC Davis and, recognize that hard effort. And like you said, if they were to also beat Kansas, how much more on a national scale? Because, when your team goes for the first time just in your school's history, it really only matters to you as a school.
Right.
But then if they were to, somehow, some way, and that's the cool thing about the NCAA tournament is really anything could happen.
Yeah.
And that's the fun of it. So if they were, I told my dad, I was like, Dad, 30 for 30. I was like, because like you said, it's never really been done. And if they were to somehow pull it off, by all means, I will definitely never hold back any congratulatory remarks towards them because that is just phenomenal.
And you're doing it against like a historic team like Kansas. It's not like you're doing it against a team that's it's one of those historic it's like those historic college basketball. Like if you did to Kentucky or to Indiana or someone like that.
Right. No, definitely. So I'm excited. Sacramento as a whole is pretty riled up. They've been talking about them.
Right.
Rightfully so. They earned it. Rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm excited for them. So last night, so like I said, UC Davis defeated North Carolina Central last night, 67-63. We also had USC playing against Providence, and USC defeated Providence 75-71. So they are going to go on as well. So it's exciting. This is the best time of the year, of course, to me.
This is your number one?
This is it. I love it.
See,
I love it.
Here's the thing. Like, all right, I'm not going to lie up here and say, like, oh, I know how good, Winthrop is or how good West Virginia. I don't know. Like, I'm not, I'm not part of that. Like, now there's some teams.
Right.
Like, I'm a fan of Duke. Like, I like Duke mostly because of Coach K, but also, especially this year.
Okay.
You know me a little bit now, and I like chaos and the people and the teams and the players that are kind of, anarchists. Grayson Allen totally fits that.
Right.
He is just an insane person, and I love watching him. So, and then you also got, a couple other good players on the team. Luke Kennard's pretty good over there. You got some people on the team who, like, outside of Grayson Allen are pretty good, and they could actually win everything. So I enjoy watching that. I enjoy with Gonzaga. I enjoy North Carolina. There's a handful of teams that I actually do enjoy watching.
Sure.
But if you tell me, like, oh, how good do you think Virginia is? I mean, I could click on ESPN.com.
State.
Right. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I could click on something on ESPN, look at who their number one scorer is, look at the head coach, look at his record, look at, like, their strength of schedule. Like, I could rattle off all those things, rat-tat-tat. But it's like one of those things of when you take a test. And then, like, once you're done with the test, like, 10 minutes later, it's just like, okay, so, and they ask you the same question that you probably got right, and you're like, oh, I don't know what that is.
Right.
It'd be one of those things. Don't get me wrong. I like watching this because it's so random. Like, last year, Villanova won on a, jump shot at the buzzer. Mm-hmm. And, you always have the kind of, like, random upsets. You have George Mason, your VCUs. You get the people that go really far where they're not supposed to. So
right. Well, that's what I love.
Yeah.
Because anything is possible.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, it 100% is. So I do enjoy that. Now, favorite time of the year might be more kind of end of the year with, like, football and college football kind of all kind of going at the end.
Oh,
like, you get, like, the playoffs.
College basketball more.
You like college basketball more than regular basketball, like more than the NBA?
Yeah, definitely.
Really?
Definitely.
No.
Definitely. I can watch college basketball all day,
but see, I don't know their names.
Well, okay, granted.
Like, I know who Markelle Fultz is. He's not in it. And I know who, like, Lonzo Ball and stuff like that is. I know who Lonzo Ball's dad is.
Sure.
Sure. That man. Whew.
But I just think it's a lot more fun just to watch. I don't know. I think for me, I think that because I feel like they actually, well, I mean, this is kind of like an argument that I've heard multiple times, but truly for me, I feel like because you're actually playing for something. Like just the pride part.
Sometimes,
just the
yes.
legacy part.
I don't
not
think
really the money part.
I don't think Lonzo Ball's playing for that. But yeah, I think for the most part.
Well, no, I mean like as far as like college basketball itself, not necessarily because I know that there are some players. Granted, that's fine. They're just doing it as a stepstone to get to the NBA. Like, yeah, that's fine.
And players are more noble or whatever you want.
7-game series with the NBA,
right?
I feel like that's kind of like long. And and like for example, like I'm just gonna use UC Irvine and UC Davis. Irvine lost by 3 to Davis this past weekend in the tournament championship. Like I said, if you would have given them a 7-game series, best of 7, Irvine for sure for sure Irvine in a best-of-7 series. But it's the one and done that it's just like, I mean, I'm still sad about it.
Yeah.
You know? And so, I don't know. I guess you get more emotionally invested. I do.
Yeah.
In a 7-game. Because, like, with 7 games, you can say, all right, well, we still have 4 more chances. We still have whatever. We're, it's tied 2-2.
Yeah.
We can still, if you have an off game, you can reflect and go back. With these one-and-done type games, you got to lay it all out every single night. And I know that, especially with these, with conference tournaments where they're 1, 2, 3 games back-to-back, 3 games in 3 days, whatever, that's a lot of strain, and that you can sometimes, depending on the team, lose steam in game 3, even though it is the championship. But it's like you have to approach it as if you have fresh legs, just like you did 2 days ago, and things like that. I don't know. That's just kind of my thing.
Right. No, and it is super random because I forget who pointed this out one time, but it's basically the thing of you are trusting college kids to not be college kids. Like, you're you're saying like, I think North Carolina's the best team and they're, hands down the favorite. Cool.
Okay.
Also, he's 18, 19, 20 years old, and let's say his girlfriend broke up with him, or let's say, all of a sudden
there's
some family stuff happening. Like, all these things can like totally put it in the mix. Like, if your girlfriend breaks up with you right before like the Final Four, good luck focusing on just the game.
Yeah, and I remember when Irvine flew to Seattle to play against Louisville, in that first round, some of the guys had to take like finals on that flight.
Right.
Or there was one kid on the team where his teacher was like, you have to take the final when everybody else is taking the final on campus. So he had to do it the morning of the game because that particular teacher gave him no leeway.
Right.
But, and so like you said, there is other factors that play into it, because if you're up all night stressed, one, you're excited because you've never been here before. And you're even if you've been there before, it's still exciting. And then 2, you're stressed just because normal stress of, I have a final tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And then I have shoot around at 11.
100%.
Yeah. So you're right. And I think that kind of adds to the fun of it.
Right. And it does add to it. And you also get this thing of, there are some coaches that have this reputation. Like, I love Calipari. Again, kind of anarchist in that whole aspect, but he's also had his issues with like coaching and stuff like that, as far as like not being the best like in-game coach in the world. Like, he's lost a few games where he probably shouldn't have. He had the undefeated team that lost in the Final Four. He had Boogie Cousins and John Wall didn't make it out of the Elite 8, I think it was. He lost against Kevin Ollie when they lost to UConn a few years back. Like, he's had situations where you get all this talent, you get these people every year, but you're not exactly as good. So you can't just say like, oh, it's the best coach that's going to win.
Right.
Okay, maybe, but like, there's a lot of like randomness to it, which does make it more fun. To where the NBA, there's kind of a little bit of chaos right now with it, but
right now I think with the NBA, we kind of know for the most part.
Yeah, assuming Kevin Durant comes back and is healthy by the time the playoffs start, it's probably going to be the Warriors and Cavs again, right?
Yeah,
And all that happens is in the beginning of the season, it's like, okay, Warriors, Cavs. And then we go through 82 games in the regular season. It's like, oh, maybe Spurs, maybe Rockets, maybe that. But then if, Durant comes back, it's like, oh, yeah, right, never mind all of that kind of thing. There is no real, like, intrigue, really. Now, if Kevin Durant can't come back, then who knows? Then total chaos, randomness happens after that. But there is more of, especially with the 7-game series. Like you said, if it was a 3-game series, that's a little bit different, too.
Even a 3-game.
Right. So, I don't know. Like, I
get sometimes not bored with a 7-game series because those are very fun too, and especially when you have things where people come back from being behind.
Sure.
That's exciting, but
the thing is,
I don't know. I feel like there's just more pressure and more on the line when it's a one and done.
Oh God, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. It's like you can't have an off game. Like if your knee hurts today, you just gotta pray and ice it all day. And you better hope that when you land, it doesn't buckle. Yeah. Which is a scary thing, but it's true.
Right. No, 100%. Yeah.
And so it's not one of those things where you could kind of take it easy because somebody else can pick up your slack, because then we'll just play in 2 nights from now and then I want you to go hard for it. No, like you got to kind of decide with some of these players and some of these college kids, you just got to push through it. Or, like you said, if outside things happen or whatever, you got to kind of block that out as best as you can.
Yeah.
And realize that, you know, this is the last 40 minutes, whatever, that you have, potentially could have. And it's like, I don't know. I just feel like there's more.
There is more of a chaos factor, kind of more of an intrigue factor. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I think that's what I like. I think I just like the one.
And I totally get that. I think with me, it's just I don't know who these people are really, which is, I guess, also my own fault.
Sure.
But, you know, like I know the people that are like the top, right? Because my favorite.
We talk about them all the time. Yeah.
My favorite team in the NBA, the Kings, they stink, and
Go
they're
Kings.
always in
faithful.
They're always in the draft, you know, lottery very high.
Sure.
So it's always just like, oh, look, they're going to get Malik Monk, or oh, look, they're
Sure.
going to get Jason Tatum, like one of these people. And so you kind of know who these people
So
are.
then you kind of, I see what you're saying.
Right.
Then
you
they
know,
become important. No,
if I was a fan of the Spurs, maybe not so much because they're always drafting really high, and it's just like, oh, we're just going to take this random guy from Bosnia that, you know, nobody's heard of, but somehow he's going to average 15 points a game.
Yeah, and we're going to, no, truly. So we'll see how the rest of this goes, and I was actually pretty excited. Well, I mean, we can get into this after the break. So we're going to take it to our quickly to our first break.
There you go.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Proud of you.
And then when we come back, we'll kind of give you guys a preview of some of the games that are going to be happening today, because today is like officially the start of all the madness.
Yeah.
So keep it locked here. You're listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. We will be right back.
Do you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
Back to the Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. I'm your favorite host, Pauline.
And I'm Anthony.
Just regular Anthony.
And, I mean...
Anthony's my favorite co-host.
Yeah.
So is Ben. Ben's my second favorite co-host.
Well, now I don't feel as special.
So on Mondays, Ben's my favorite. On Thursdays, yours my favorite.
It's like telling one of your children, it's like, you're my favorite, and then he like goes away, and the other one's just
favorite.
like,
well,
you're
I mean,
my
I don't
favorite.
have kids yet, but
right, but that's like you just basically telling one of your kids, like, you know, Jason, you're my favorite, and then Jason runs away all happy, yeah.
Well, on
and then like Molly comes in, I don't know why I named her Molly, and he comes in, and it's like, no, you're my favorite, and then she runs away all happy, and then all of a sudden it's just like, okay, now you just lied to both of them.
No, you're literally my favorite co-host on Thursdays, and Ben's literally my favorite co-host on Mondays.
Uh-huh.
No, truly.
Okay.
I wouldn't trade you guys for anyone else.
Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm my favorite co-host on Tuesdays when I do it by myself. Just depends on what the day is. Depends on how I'm feeling. I would love to do one with all three of us, though. I feel like that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Unless you want to do like a basketball, football, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A collab.
Or just
On
have...
a Friday. I should come in on a Friday one day.
Yeah.
And we should all do it.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about all of our grievances.
Oh, just airing of grievances.
World of sports.
All right.
So anyway, we have a couple of exciting games. Well, actually, not a couple, a whole lot of exciting games tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you guys are the underdog, if you guys are cheering for the underdog teams, this is it. Anything is possible. I am excited. Let's see. We have Notre Dame and Princeton today.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Gonna see what happens with that. That's actually going on right now. No, not yet.
Not till 9:15.
Starting at 9:15
Yeah.
Pacific time. What time is it? It is 7:38.
Yeah.
The clock in here is still an hour behind, so that kind of threw me off. I was like, whoa, Twilight Zone. What time is it? We do also have Gonzaga and South Dakota State. Gonzaga number 1. Let's see, number 4 West Virginia against number 13 Bucknell. So definitely an interesting setup right there. That's a team I'm not quite too familiar with. We have Villanova and Mount St. Mary's. We have St. Mary's out of Moraga going against VCU today. That's going to be around 4:20 p.m. on TBS. I'm excited for that game. I like St. Mary's.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize for that. Another exciting game that I'm looking forward to, at least, is Nevada and Iowa State. I'm halfway going for Nevada only because my brother attends Nevada. So
sure.
And I know a couple of guys on that team, so I'm like, they've had a pretty exciting run this season, so I hope it continues. They're facing off against number 5 Iowa State tonight. That's going to be kind of like one of the last games of the evening. So
of all of the, what do you want to call it? Like, of all the teams that are in the tournament right now, like, I understand, you went to one of the schools that has the potential to be in here.
Mm-hmm.
Which one? Do you have, like, a favorite team that...
Right now? Like, my second favorite?
Right.
My
like
half favorite?
Like a team that you kind of, like, root for that...
Because my team isn't in?
Right.
Right. Okay, so... Well, okay, so usually I do. Because I'm usually, like, okay with it. But for some reason, it really hurt.
This one, like,
heart.
actually hurt.
This one got me.
Uh-huh.
This one got me really bad.
So you're not rooting for Duke, you're not rooting for Kentucky, you're not rooting for...
I'm kind of so I feel 2 things. One, I hope Nevada at least wins this round because I like Nevada.
Sure.
And like I said, my brother goes there, so I'm kind of like halfway. I got a Nevada hat.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know some of those guys. So,
right.
I want them to do well. But I think I'm going to go with, like, if realistically, as far as getting deep in the tournament, I think I'm going to go with Villanova.
Okay.
I like Villanova.
Mm-hmm.
I usually always default to Villanova.
So there's, like, a couple of things with me that, like, I want to either see happen or not see happen.
I want to see Kansas tear up UC Davis.
Sure.
But then again, I'm halfway about that. I'm conflicted.
I can't. Like, I want to see a 16 beat a 1 seed because I want to see that history and everything.
Yes.
Not that one.
But the fact that they beat my team, I'm kind of like, you guys...
I don't really need the team that's like my direct rival from the college I went to. I do not need them to be like the historic, like, oh, we're the only 16 seed to beat a 1 seed. I don't need that in my life. I know. No, I'm good without that. So I want them to lose. I would like a number 1 seed to lose to a 16 seed, but We'll see how that goes. I do want Northwestern to lose to Vanderbilt for no other reason than I don't want every person who is at ESPN / Fox Sports 1 / CBS / whoever who went to Northwestern talking forever about yes. Like before this, they never actually made it to the NCAA tournament. Now they're like, oh, look how good we are. It's like, you're an 8 seed. Just calm down. Miami's an 8 seed. They may lose to Michigan State. Stop. If you win, you got to face number 1 seed. Have fun with that.
Right.
Kind of thing. Like that I want to see. I do want to see Duke advance. Like I said, I want to see Grayson Allen trip somebody. I just want it one more time. Just trip one more person. Just, you really can't seem to control yourself. So just like, have someone go around the screen and just trip.
Sure. I
want to see that. I do want to see Lonzo Ball because that dude, like, from everything I've heard, and I say heard because I know who he is. I know how good he is statistically and everything else like that. But, like, I actually want to see, like, in a game how, like, talented that dude is because everyone says he plays like Jason Kidd and does all these things as far as passing that's just,
I see what you're saying.
like, next level kind of thing. So there's certain things, like, I do actually want to see. I want to see if Calipari can get this Kentucky team to, like, good, to a good place or whatever. Like, I want to see certain things like that happening. And just, like, I do want to see a little bit of, like, Cinderella kind of thing. See if a team like a Bucknell or Winthrop or something like that actually makes it to the Final Four. But then again, let's be real. Like, we want those teams to go far.
I do.
But then we want to stop. Like, far-ish.
Yes.
Like, when George Mason was, like, really good and made it to, I think it was the Final Four, like, you didn't want them to win the finals. Like you didn't want them to win the championship and everything else. Like, you didn't want that to happen. Like, when Butler made it to back-to-back championship games when they actually had, a really good player on the team in Gordon Hayward, it was fun to watch, but also, like,
If Davis beats Kansas, I'm taking Davis all the way. Because at that point, you can't tell them nothing.
You can't, true. At that point, you can't tell them anything. You can't say, like,
even I'll just have to wear my anteater with a Jordan face, cry face on it, and just root for them. Because if you beat Kansas, I think when any team, like an underdog team, beats Kansas, I got it. Like, you got to give it to them.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, if they do,
Davis go all the way. Can you imagine?
I don't
the
want
chaos that will ensue all of Sacramento.
I'll say, especially here where it'd be just like, oh, this is gonna be bad. Like, it would be the same sort of thing. Like, if your buddy all of a sudden, like, didn't win the lottery, but, like, won like a decent amount of money from the lotto, like he won like $25,000 or something like that, he would just be like, "Oh no, I got it." Just like always throw it in your face, like, "No, it's fine, I got this." And you're just like, "Okay, I understand that you won the money. That's nice. Please stop throwing it in my face." Like, you know, it's like, "Congratulations, Davis. I know you won. Stop posting signs everywhere on the freeway and on buildings and everything else like that. I understand what happened."
Oh no, definitely they're gonna go wild.
But you know, like you said,
and the Final Four is in Arizona, so it's like nearby. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And we got the first round in Sacramento, which actually Lonzo Ball will be in one of those games.
Ballin'.
Which would be kind of a cool thing to do because now they have the new arena in Sacramento, which when it was old Arco Arena / Golden State 1 / Power Bounce Pavilion.
Always Arco, forever Arco.
It is basically forever Arco.
This Golden One Center is forever Arco 2.0.
Yeah, new Arco. It's new Arco.
No, I don't care what people say.
It's called Golden One Center.
No, it's Arco.
Man. It's new Arco.
Yes.
But
Arco downtown, basically.
Back when, Arco, yeah. But when it was old Arco, right, when that was the thing, at a certain point, when it kind of got to the point of like, oh, this might be the worst actually arena in the entire U.S.
No, yeah, definitely.
You know, big
Visitors
musical.
locker room, terrible.
Yeah, musical acts, the Final Four, all that stuff like that. They were just like, yeah, never mind. Right. And then the first year we get actually a good arena. They're like, oh, yeah, we'll come back. And it's like, okay, cool.
Everybody's coming into town.
Right.
Which, I mean, is exciting. But no, I know exactly what you mean. So we'll see. We have a lot of excitement coming up this weekend. It's my favorite time of the year. It's probably, would you pick? No.
Would I pick what?
I was going to say Christmas or this. I think I'd still pick.
Oh, Christmas. I get stuff.
I was going to say, I think I'd still pick.
Yeah, like I'll still take any holiday because I actually get stuff. Even Cinco de Mayo, even 4th of July, even whatever. Like you
Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, God, yeah.
Hey, St. Patrick's Day tomorrow.
Right.
Isn't it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow.
Right.
Friday?
Yes. That too, because, you know, it's either you get presents or it is just basically free reign to drink.
Oh, God. Okay, so we're going to take it to a break on that note. And when we come back, we will kind of shift gears out of college basketball and into some football today. So keep locked here. You are listening to the Golden State Media Concept Sports Podcast, and we will be right back.
Check out the show that's built on the MMA. From the UFC to extreme cage fighting, they got the fights covered. Check out the GSMC MMA podcast. Get the latest news on past or upcoming fights. Join us as we talk to and about some of the biggest names in the MMA, past, present, and future. When it's the fight game, there's just one show to check out. GSMCpodcast.com/MMA-podcast. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Pauline.
And I'm Anthony.
And we have some perhaps exciting news, depending on who you are.
Sure.
Perhaps some comical news. Perhaps you saw this coming news or whatever. Right. A shocker, a bomb, we knew this was going to happen depending on who you are.
Right.
But so earlier in the month, I think it was this month. Or
no, I think it was
late last month.
Yeah, I think it was late last month.
We talked about this.
Yeah. Last month.
So, so former New York Jets cornerback Darrelle Revis has, he was charged with 5 criminal charges after. So he was charged with assault.
Right.
On multiple accounts of assault for allegedly knocking out some guys.
Right.
In Pittsburgh.
Right.
Last month. So supposedly he assaulted them, but then, to I'm sure his delight, and I mean, I would be delighted if I was him. His longtime friend, Rashawn Bolton, has testified and basically said that he came to Revis's aid and he was the one who knocked out the 2 guys who were in an altercation with Revis that night. So he was saying that it was his voice on the video and that he was the one who knocked out these 2 gentlemen and things like that. So the charges have been dropped. against Revis. And no update on what's going to be happening to Bolton, of course. Not yet. But we will see. He was described by his attorney. Revis's attorney described him as a peaceful, quiet, private individual and law-abiding citizen. And also that there's no reason these charges should have even been brought. Like, he should have never have been accused of this in the beginning.
I do like how they describe him, like, law-abiding citizen, quiet, private. Like, what are you going to say? Like, my client was a menace to society. I'm so glad this didn't actually happen. Like, thank God someone else is taking the rap for this. Like,
right.
They're going to talk about how good he is and, lifelong friend. Like, congratulations to you, man. Like, well, not congratulations, because if you get charged by it, that's got to sting too. But,
Well, I'm interested because we talked about this real quickly on the break before we came on.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I said was, how much money or what is the compensation?
All of your kids. I don't care if you have 2 kids or 17 kids.
Mr. Bolton
all
is receiving for taking the entire blame.
Allegedly, yeah.
For his friend.
Uh-huh.
And of course, it was stated by Bolton's attorney that there was no financial incentive for Bolton to testify.
Right. There's some kind of financial implications, fraudulent,
But I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, no.
Are you going to just take the blame for your friend because he's your friend and you actually did it? Or are you going to take half the blame, the whole blame?
Does my friend have the financial aspects that you
to make
have?
Sure that my kids are set up?
Right. Like, I don't have any kids, but if
Sean Bolton has kids or not, but I'm just saying, I want in
as
writing
soon as
that
he
my
gets a
future
kid,
kids.
Private school.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as it's like, oh, look at you got little Billy, private school. Like, oh, look at you got another one. Oh, look at little Johnny, private school. Right, Molly again. Yeah, private school.
She's back.
Yeah, she's back. She, the favorite son, the favorite daughter, private school. But, I mean, this has happened before with the whole, best friend basically helping you out. Like, Barry Bonds, when he was basically getting accused of everything left and right.
Right.
You had his buddy, I can't remember what his name, Greg Anderson, who basically went to prison for Barry Bonds.
Hey.
There's
a couple of us that have some real friends out there.
I mean.
But look, if Rashawn Bolton is the guy who did knock these guys out.
Sure.
For whatever his reasonings were.
Right,
and if they are really good friends, and if your friend is in an altercation, then hopefully, I would like to know. I mean, I hope that I'm never in a fight. I don't think there's any reason why I wouldn't.
Right.
I don't ever see that happening. But I would hope that my lifelong friend would come to my aid. But then now he's saying that he's the only one that punched anybody.
Right.
You shouldn't punch people.
Sure. Here's the thing. I have a handful.
You don't think that they did it together?
I have a hand. I don't. I don't think it was probably a one person did everything. Here's the other thing. There's a few things in my life that I'm actually afraid of. Right. Australia, for one of them.
Because of all the animals.
All the things there that'll kill you. There's a million things there. And
I've got
a friend.
A lot of deadly critters out there.
And I got a friend who, just moved out there, right, with his now wife and everything else. Now, they just moved out there. She was out there, but he ended up moving down there about a month or two ago to say hi to her, or not say hi to her, but to live with her. Hi, and then come back. Right. So, but at the same time, so terrified. Sure. Also, prison. Very afraid of prison. I've seen shows, documentaries. I will not do well there, or I'll do very well there, depending on how you want to exactly phrase that sentence. But it's not. I don't know. It's not.
Yeah, that's not a place where I even want to dabble.
No. So, for his friend. Let's say it actually was Darrelle Revis, right? Let's just kind of recklessly speculate,
Sure.
Let's say it was Revis and his buddy's just he's looking at his buddy if you do this, I got you. Whatever you want, financially, whatever, I got you. That's fine. And let's say he actually did take the blame.
Who's paying his lawyer?
Right. Well, the lawyer, and when you're in there, don't get me wrong, there's probably some version of respect. Once you get in there, it's what'd you do? Yeah, I didn't really do this. No? Yeah, but, Darrelle Revis was like,
yeah.
Right, there's probably a kind of respect of like, oh, okay, cool, good for you, kind of thing like that.
I don't know. That's
but
scary.
I just can't, like, I like to think of myself as a good person, right?
Yeah.
More or less, I like to think of myself as someone who does good things for people, you know, more or less tries to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if I actually was the one that punched somebody. Like, I'm going to find somebody else. Like, there was this guy. He had a beard. I don't know what his name was. I think his name was John. Like, I am like, no, Like, I don't really feel like getting in trouble for this.
But then again, if he's the guy that goes around knocking people out, boom, boom.
Sure.
He's not afraid of prison.
Maybe. Or alcohol could have been part of this whole thing.
Yeah. So
that kind of makes you want to fight people.
Yeah, and depending on, his character, like you said, like we're generally nice people. Like we try to be nice, law-abiding, peaceful citizens.
Right. And the other thing is now with this kind of like now going back to like an actual sports topic, like this helps Revis now, right? Because like now there's no like legal thing hanging over him. And you can't even have the NFL. It's just like, well, we're going to look into it. It's like, because they dropped everything. Like, this isn't the thing. Like,
completely dropped, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I guess you still can look into it or whatever else like that. But something like that, generally, people, in the NFL.
It's definitely going to work in his favor.
They're going to, it's going to look okay. So if he goes and wants to play for a team like, the Jaguars or something like that, like, it can't be like, oh, well, we're going to see how this plays out. No, this played out. This is all done. Like, allegedly, you didn't do anything. So, it's
a wrap. There's nothing else that carries over.
Which will get him more money, which will help with private school.
So congratulations to all you Revis fans.
Congratulations to the other guy's children.
And Rashawn Bolton. We all need a Rashawn Bolton in our lives.
We all need someone that's just that good of a friend. I don't have that good of a friend. I'm not that good of a friend.
I'm not that good of a friend.
Right.
I'm a really good friend, I like to think, but...
My best friend in the world. Like,
I wouldn't want my friend to do that.
Oh, like I don't care if he was like, I need you to do something for me. Yeah, what do you need? So I
take the blame.
I punched this guy in the face. Why'd you do that? I don't know. Okay, well that seemed kind of dumb. Yeah, I need you to do something for me. Yeah, what? I need you to take the blame for me. You need what?
Yeah, they would just know not to ask me.
Yeah. It's just like, you want me to take the blame for this? You want me to? What's the worst case? It could be jail time. Yeah, no.
Nah.
Yeah, no, I'm out.
You're paying for this plea deal. No, definitely not. We're not. You're paying for my lawyer. No. See, no, can't even do it.
Right.
So, shout out to Rashawn Bolton, whether he did or did not.
100%.
I mean, he said that he did, so he testified under oath. So hopefully he was telling the truth.
Right.
Hopefully that wasn't,
That's the other thing. If you find out that you perjured yourself, if you actually did lie under oath, then
that's a whole other can of worms you got to deal with.
Yeah. Because then they're investigating you again, and they prove that you lied. Oh, no, you're going to prison for a little bit longer now. All
bad. So, with that, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast. I'm excited. March Madness. We're watching basketball all weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited, actually.
It will be fun over the next few weeks. Like, I do enjoy it. It is one of those things that's fun to...
You sound enthusiastic about it. You're just you're just on edge, I can tell.
Look... It's also like the games this weekend where it's just like, all right, fine. Like if I can see some of the matchups later on, like when I did the whole bracket for my, like this not league, but this kind of like challenge, whatever I'm doing with a handful of people that I know, like I had Duke winning it all. And at one point it's Duke and North Carolina in the finals. And if that's the case, that'll be awesome, phenomenal. That'll be really fun to watch. But right now, a team playing Winthrop, it's just like, I don't know who you are, and it's just one of those things. Plus, there's like 17 games going on right now, and it's hard to watch just one of them, and all of a sudden...
Dude, it starts literally like an hour.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, in about an hour, everything starts, and it'll be going basically
till tomorrow when we talk again.
Right.
I love it, though. I love it. All the viewing parties, all the friends gathering.
True.
All the screaming at the TV.
Right.
All the texting, talking about, did you see that?
True.
The replays, the posts on Twitter, Facebook GIFs. It's all fun.
All right, fine. You're turning me a little bit. Okay. You're making me.
It's all fun.
All right. I'm kind of with that a little bit more.
The replays, those, buzzer beaters at halftime, the buzzer beaters at the end of the game. You thought you guys were going to win. Now you guys lost by 2.
Right. Yeah. And odds are there's probably going to be
storming the court when it's just the first round.
I love the storming the court. Like
I was so excited on Saturday to storm the court for Irvine. I was like, I'm for sure running on this court. Like I'm gonna fly on the court.
And then
like I was kind of inching my way lower and lower and lower.
Yeah.
I was getting, excited for it. I mean, it happens. It's okay. It's okay.
You don't seem like it's okay.
It's okay. I'm just glad that we got to taste that once in my college career.
Right.
I got to taste that once. And I did get to go to that first round game in Seattle. So, and I think that's why I was like, one more time.
Right.
One more time.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that is going to do it for this episode of the podcast. I am your host, Pauline.
And I'm Anthony.
And he's going to be back tomorrow with Ben.
Yep.
You work with Ben tomorrow?
Yeah.
With Ben, and then Ben and I will give you guys a recap of the first weekend of March Madness on Monday. So we'll talk to you guys next time.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.